Okay, today I am building the Space Marines Primaris Invader ATV, and when I looked at the instructions and sort of how it was built, you could see that the tires are attached in such a way that priming this thing might have been a little bit of a challenge, particularly since in the back the tires are mostly covered, so you're only going to see the bottoms. And the same goes with the edges here that might be a different color than that. And while they do have colors here where they show it's basically an ultramarine version where they're blue on this side here, and then you got the gray interior and then the black tires, I just thought that it would be easier if I was able to start off in a good place as far as the priming was concerned for my paint job that I'll do after I'm done. So kind of my plan here was to prime this in the colors that I wanted to start off with, and then once I build it, quickly paint it after it's all done. So because the tires were on here, I decided to kind of make this guy a potential Death Company Marine. As you can see by my Mephiston red painting here, priming here, I'm going to be going with Blood Angels for the vehicle. And I'm just going to jump in. I have never done this before, the priming before I start, so this is new. I have no idea how it'll work out, and I'm just going to give it a try and see what happens. All four of these tires are exactly the same. They're all 8, so I'm just going to cut them out. And it may be that I remove some of the, or edit out some of the cutting parts here, but we'll see. Try and get through them sort of quick. And it's interesting that these are all the same because I have built Orc vehicles and all those tires are different because they're all jagged and Mad Max thrown together. They got spikes all over them. I've got the scars to prove it. So it's kind of funny that these are all pretty much the same, which is why, against what I've said in other videos, I am cutting them all out at the same time. Because normally I would not do so. So we'll move those over there. We're going to need 5 and 7. I've already identified those. They are over here on this. Here is number 7. Pretty much like that. Number 7 and number 5. And I'm not too worried about like the little contact points not being perfect with the priming. I can fix that later. I have done so. It was not a big deal. I'm sure that someone might think that's crazy or have an opinion. That's totally fine. Let me know in the comments if you'd like. I am happy to be berated about making a mistake. You can see I did kind of mess up a little bit of my priming here, but again, that's okay. I can fix that later. All right. Oh, that one I'd like to clean up a little. Let's see. Will it work with this? It did. Sweet. So we're going to grab one of our little black tires. And it looks like it pretty much just... let's see. Oh, there we go. There's some guides. Yeah, just got to get them in there. Or is it wanting to be on this side? Yep, there we go. Oh, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, one side just doesn't want to go in. Leads me to believe that I'm doing it wrong. Oh, there we go. That clicked into place. Nice. So there's one. And then this one is going to go into there and connect up back here, like so. I suppose. Maybe. Oh, this is not the dry fitting experience I was hoping for. Come on. You know, let's get these off and see how they link up without a tire. Oh, they're pretty tight. And they like to, they're going to go in. Okay. So let's see. Let's take a look at these instructions a little closer. Okay, so if I'm to hold the tire up like so, the side with the divots will go in here. And then the side without the divots will go there. There we go. That worked. Okay. So this is suggesting that this one should get glue all around it. Let's grab this thing. Do a little bit more work on this. I think I was just tweaking because it looks gray. Okay. So the bigger one, doesn't get as much, so it wants me to glue all around there. I'm going to actually put glue inside here. Yeah. Okay. So and now, fabulous. Oops. So, interesting point. The paint comes off a little bit in the process. Not entirely surprising, I suppose. But I didn't count on it. All right. So that's one. You have to do a little bit more work on those, but for the painting, that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. Interesting that basically I'm going to do all of that again. And even the numbers are exactly the same, it says. So yeah, here they are, 7 and 5 again. Do you think I'm going to dry fit them again? I'm absolutely going to dry fit them again. I'm a fanatic. But don't worry, you will not have to watch it. I will edit it out. Okay, with those two tires done, we are ready to proceed to the next point here, which is to grab number 4, according to the instructions, which is sort of a side of the vehicle, it looks like. So that's number 4 right here. Yeah, what's funny is that I didn't think about it when I primed these, that the numbers might get obscured, but they didn't. So cool. Again, this is the first time for me on this, and I'm learning to think about these kinds of things. Probably should have thought of that before I grabbed that rattle can and went crazy. So I primed this yesterday, and so that's why I'm a little surprised that the paint's coming off quite so elaborately and swiftly. I'm going to need number 16 as well for the back tire part. Let's see, that's 17. There's 16 right here. And the one did get obscured by the primer on this one. So we're doing this piece here. Turn it around like this to make it look like the part over there. We're going to grab this part of the tire here. It's going to go in like that. So that's how it will connect with this wheel part facing backward, or facing the long end of this vehicle part. Now it's not going in super easy, but it will go in pretty darn easy. Once I put glue in there, it'll slide right in. And so I'm going to do that first because I can guarantee that that's the step. And then I'll work on the next part here in just a moment. Yep, see? Right in, no problem. It's got a little round part on this side and then a flat point on that side to ensure that you get it into the right position as well. So that's great. the next part here is that we have this round part here to put a tire on. And so the tire will fit over this section there. And then number 16 will effectively go here. Now it's got a little circle, and that circle lines up with this peg so that you can put that on right, and it's going to go in pretty much just like this, and then shove. But I don't want to do that until I put the glue on. So it says to glue all around this and the peg. So let's just take care of that. All right, tire. Let's see, does the tire need to do anything specific back here? I think it does. I think it's going to go in like that. So in the back there is 2 guide points that line up with the tire's guide points in here. So that should make that a little easier too. As far as how this goes, if you want to think of this as a fender, it goes up and then everything just slides into place. It needs to get pinched so that it's nice and tight. And voila, we've got the first side. So there you go. It's kind of cool. Now we're going to be able to set this aside for a moment and work on the next one. So we're going to need the number 1 side here, which is right here, which is pretty much a mirror image of the thing we just did. So rather than put you through all that again, I will edit all of this out. Okay, I'm back and I have 2 pieces again, or now. So we've got the 2 sides all ready to go. Now we need the body, which is number 6. And number 6 is this big beefy piece right here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And be careful when trimming this because there are parts that are connected to the sprue, which technically are pegs, which are going to hold things. So be careful because it'd be very easy to make a mistake and trim something essential. All right, got it. There we go. So here is our big chunky piece, and it's going to go like this. Then these pegs on the side, there's 3 pegs here, here, and here, and they are going to go into this. Oh, there they are. There's our guides. So easy peasy. Just right like so. No big deal. Looks like that's the only glue points that they suggest. I'm going to put the glue inside the holes rather than on the pegs myself. But the instructions do say do it in the pegs or on the pegs. I find it's just a little easier, and I guarantee I'm going to get something in there if I do it this way. So, triple checking that I'm on the right side. It looks like everything's good to go. I'm going to start lining up on the bottom one and then see if my aim is good for the big one. The smallest one in the back, it did work out, and boom, that's it. You can look on the bottom and check and see if your seams line up. Mine do, so I'm good to go. This thing's not going to be that big, huh? Look at that. Looks like we're going to start building some guns. So we're going to need 12 and 13. Let's see, where is 12 and 13? I was pretty sure everything on this one. Nope, there's 12 and there's 13. So 12 and 13 are going to be black. Sweet. And here's another one you got to be careful about because of the pegs. So what's going into 12 and 13? 12 and 13 just go together, it looks like. And then 23 and 24. Let's see, 23, first part of a gun. Careful with the nose because you could very easily take some of it off. All right, there we go. All right, so let's take a look at these. These have some pretty reasonable looking guides, I think. I'm definitely not gluing these in until I know for sure what I'm doing here. It genuinely does look like these just come together, and then I put the guns into them on the sides. It wants me to use these pegs. Kind of makes it a little bit like a push together, doesn't it? Okay, so just these 2 pegs are what it's saying to glue, but I'm going to do a little more than that. And by a little, apparently I mean a lot. So I guess, this is definitely a little push together model. I mean, I probably should have known that from the very beginning. I'm not brilliant. There you go. Push together. So all of these, let's see. So this goes this direction, according to the instructions, where these 2 pegs are sort of in the front of what we're looking at least. And then we put these weapons into position. There are guides, the big one and the tiny one. So like so. And that's not too bad. Because this is pushed together, it's probably telling me to just not really glue, just shove them in. But I like glue, if I can get it in there. Does that little piece want to go in? There we go. Yay! Gun number 1. Okay. Gun number 2. Nope. I know. I'm not even dry fitting it. That's how confident I am. So there we go. There's the gun. It's kind of cool, red and black. Inadvertent, of course. So this part has a bunch of, let's see, I guess it's going to go right there. Yep, just like so. You've got your 2 points to push this into. I'm going to glue that down, and then it goes in as well as the roof, which we'll cut out in just a moment once I get this gun on and in place. Is that enough? Yep, it's nice and flush. You can kind of see it on the side. It's probably hard to see, but I can tell it's flush, so that'll work out just fine. So we got our first 2 little guns right in the front there. Now let's grab the roof, which is this piece here. I'm a little embarrassed that this is pushed together and I didn't even think about it. I just thought they were being nice with guides for a change. I have no idea where that came from because I've done plenty of push together. I did the entirety of the Curse City box, not to mention a bunch of Space Marine stuff and other foolishness. So that's kind of funny, but whatever. So these 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 pegs go in here like so. I just want to see it match up. There we go. All right, got it. It's going to connect not only in these pegs, but on these edges here. So I'm going to put some glue into the peg holes. And then I'm going to put some around this edge here just to keep it firmly in place. Not that it's going anywhere after these pegs get in, and unless I start rage quitting and throwing the stuff around the board, it should be more than safe. Okay, so, we've got these 2 little pipes that go in the back there, so let's secure those as well. All right, now let's put it where it belongs. And close. Let's hope that lining these up gets me the rest of them. Oh, the telltale squishy sound of push together. I'm sort of a love-hate relationship with push together. I think it's kind of cool. I think that there are applications that could be utilized for it that would make, partial push together would be really smart, especially when they know for a fact that something's going to be a little bit of a challenge. It'd be cool if they'd add some kind of some kind of guides, basically, just like what this had. And they don't, pretty much ever. So it'd be nice if they did. Ooh, that's cool. It has shocks, which it shouldn't have done. I shouldn't have pushed on it, but whatever. Anyway, the ones that are straight pushed together can actually be really challenging. I wish I would have been filming back when I did the Curse City, because one of the models in that took quite a bit of finagling, and I had no idea what was wrong with him. It was just really pretty obnoxious, to be honest. And it was all pushed together. Had it not been a pushed together model, it would have been pretty darn easy. So we're going to build the guy who goes here. His legs are already in there, so we're building his torso. And his torso is made up of his head, which is number 40. Oh, and he's got a little peg, so we got to be careful. So head, torso is 35. 35. Oh, and there's pegs here too. Careful. 3 pegs, all connected to the sprue. So take care on that. And then 36. which is right here. Oh, and only one contact point for 36. Hilarious. Okay, so let's get him built really fast. It will not take much. Almost tossed that on the floor. 2 holes, push together. No big deal. But we've got to get his head on before we do the push. So let's get these geared up. And you can see here, that's where his head's going to go. So we're going to glue here, and here, and then here. Now this is his back. So his head goes on right like so. Easy. Now let's hold him like this so that I can get some more glue on him to really keep him from having some troubles. And here we go. Boom. There's a Space Marine torso. You can see there's the peg on the bottom. That's going to go right on there. It is funny. I didn't notice that it was his legs. So he will probably not be Death Company after all. I'll probably just treat him like I primed him black and paint him red. So whatever. No big deal. Just kind of funny. You know, part of the reason that I just painted this whole sprue black was, well, let's just be straight. It was laziness. I didn't want to take the tires out and then try and finagle getting them painted because, again, lazy. But it probably would have been better to just pull them off the sprue, spray paint them, do the rest red. But I didn't do that. So we'll work around it. And I'll paint this pretty darn soon and then share some shots of it and talk about it. So this was 38. So 38 is, if he's like this, 38 goes over here. And 37, only one contact point on the sprue, very easy. Over here. And then he's got the little handlebars, which are 39, and they're right here. His hands are on this too. My guess is that these go right here. Let me clean this up really quick. So these are going to go on that point right there. And he is going to go here. Fortunately, his shoulder pads are already in place. So I just got to glue them on. Let me think about this for just a moment, though. It wants me to do all of it right up front. If I'm quick and get it all in there, it'll still be wet enough to where I can move it around a little tiny bit. But if I don't move, I'm not talking like sprinting or anything, but if I don't move quick, then it can be a problem. There's one arm. Let's see. Yeah, it kind of does go out. I'm thinking right about there. All right. Now the countdown clock is ticking. If you know the song True Survivor from Kung Fury, you know what I'm talking about. Hands. Hands have divots to go in. We know that they go down. Pretty much like that. Ooh, close, but not quite. One of these arms is up too much. There we go. All right, let's pull that out. Let's glue this nonsense. Remembering that the hole on this goes down. There we go. Now, the trick, of course, is to ensure that all this lines up. So let's get that on there. So he is going to be no problem because he's just got a little 1 point there. The trick I'm worried about, and sure enough it is a problem, is getting that. Oh shit, I think I just broke his arms. Got it. A little bit of finagling. but it settled in there reasonably well. Now we're going to be relying on the glue because I'm pretty darn sure I just felt one of his arms break the peg a little bit, but I mean, it looks fine. It even looks like he's kind of turning the vehicle a little bit. So anyway, there's that. Dude's on. I can do some of these flourish things now. We're going to look for 26 and 27. 26 is an antenna. And 27 is this roll bar thing. So this is on the Orc truck. Again, I'm trimming only the part that's connected to it, the sprue connection, as opposed to the pegs, which are going to go right in these two holes. Where is our antenna? Is it another black thing? Yep, there it is. 26. I keep warning about it, but it's only because I've done it myself. It's connected to the peg that it's going to go into. So this one's going to go pretty much right in there. Kind of have to be careful because this one's a little frail, so I'm not sure you want to use too much strength on it. It'll firm up plenty when the glue dries. This thing just goes on whichever way. It's reversible, it looks like. I don't like how that piece feels. It's a little rough, so let's get this cleaned up a little. Good enough. And what I'm going to do to clean up all of the parts that I've scraped off paint and all that is I'm just going to go in with a brush and use Mephiston Red to clean it up. Maybe that is not the best way to do it, but you know, that's how I'm going to do it. These are not easy to get pushed in, even with glue. Maybe they don't have to be firmly in. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty firm. Okay, good. There we go. Now, we got to build a whole Space Marine, by and large. His body is already created. That's number 32. So we'll rip him out. And hey, it's my favorite warning, pegs. Okay. And then we've got his head, which is 31. Same kind of peg as the first guy we made. And then we've got 28, which is his back. Yep, his back, because he's got a jet. This guy gets a backpack because he's kind of standing up. Cool. This guy could be Death Company. Maybe he's hanging out with some other schmo. And where is? Oh, he's got a little belt holster too. Not entirely sure that's necessary, but you know, well armed and all. Okay, so cool thing. This head is going to come and be right in here. Make sure he is facing the right direction, because it would be kind of funny to make a mistake and have your Space Marine pulling an exorcist. Backpack, number 28. Backpack, and it's going to go like so. There's holes in it, of course. We're going to glue around it, despite the fact that it is very easy push together stuff. And then because I am a fanatic, I'm going to put just a little bit into the holes. There we go. Let me tell you, push together sometimes, like even on this side, not going in. And then once you've committed, it's really kind of hard to uncommit. Let's see. Gun. Because this is pushed together, putting the gun in is very easy. He's just got a little thing on his ass that this goes into. So a little bit of glue in the hole, and then on the belt itself to keep it intact, and on him. Cool. Last piece is the jetpack. I'm sorry, it is not a jetpack. It is just a bag. Very easy. I'm not even going to dry fit that because putting millions of these on, even when they're not pushed together, they're darn simple. Sometimes with pushed together, you're going to hear that hiss of glue just sort of giving way as you shove the thing into place, and then you know that you got it. I left a little bit of a mess. Let's see if I can fix it without screwing anything up. I missed one piece, so I'm going to go back and do it really quick, and that was this cross that's going to go on the front. Fortunately, it didn't matter. It's not like it's critical, but it's obviously pretty simple. It's got the 2 dots. There's 2 dots left, so it's just going to go right there and sort of cover them up. I don't know what the benefit of it is. I guess it's just sort of a armor piece or something. I don't know, but whatever. We're putting it on because it's cool. It's got the little symbol. More stuff to differentiate it and make it interesting. All right, here we go. Let's see how easy this will be. I'm not sure that pushing on this part is going to be a good idea. And it's really hard to see if you're lining it up. Oh, I heard the sound. So for my part, I don't know. I'm wondering if you could have put this on much sooner and made that line up easier. Like put this part on earlier in the process so that it just fit in easier. I'm pretty sure it's fine where it's at, but I would have liked to put it on before when I had easier access to that part. I won't know now, but if you are making this or you haven't started yet, you might consider at least dry fitting this and seeing if it could be put on before you put the gun mechanism in place. So before we put this guy onto the back on his feet, we do have a part here that it is talking about, and that is 14 and 15, which they might be weapons, but I'm kind of thinking that they are, I mean, it's a Space Marine thing. I'm sure it's a weapon. Practical side, I would say it's a muffler. Do they care about that? Oh, interesting. So there's a single peg down here that one of these is going to hook up to, probably like this. And then there are 2 holes, and I think his feet are going to go through those holes and provide us with another contact point for this little part here. So let's get this built first. I guess it's going to go like so. Oh, good. It was very easy to line it up. There's a single hole here, but it does not want to go in easy. And what's worse, okay, no, it looks like, so this part here will just slide into place in the back there against these 2 divots. So we just got to go and then push in. But it's going to take some glue to make that a possibility. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually provide glue down here because it's easier to not get it all over myself. Ensure that it actually is in place. And then on here, I'm going to get the peg itself ready because otherwise it did not want to go in. That done, hopefully that will make it easier. And it did. There we go. And as with most push together, not a perfect seam yet. All right, there we go. Now, I stand corrected. The bottom thing will do nothing with the feet. It's these 2 tiny divots right here that are going to match up there so that you know that you did it right. Yep. And then that matches up in the back. So cool. Loads of stuff to glue here. Let's just glue this and this. These. Just put a little more on there. I don't want that to go anywhere because it's going to protrude down. And let's cram it down. Done. All right, weird muffler thing is in place. Now let's get this little guy into where he belongs. He only really has the one contact point being these feet. So we're going to put him on like that. Of course, he's got a whole gun coming in a moment, and that will help establish him in a little bit. How hard are you going to be to get in those? Not at all. Not at all. This one is not seeming to be on there as well as it could, but now it is. All right, and there we go. Got a guy on there now. Both dudes in place. And we're ready to turn the page. So we're pretty much up to the very end here. We've just got to build the gun turret and then put it in place along with his arms. The trick now is to decide which gun to build. And I looked back here, and I want to do the stubby one. This one, we're going to do 20 and 19 right here. 20 and 19. Should be easy to find because we're pretty much coming to the very end. 22 and 21. That's this sort of guard thing. So there's 22. And we're going to use that. 21, it looks like a little magazine. There it is. And we have 2 pegs on that one. So it looks like we put the gun together first, which is ultimately very simple. Just line it up and go. No big deal here. Plenty of pegs to do so, but it's also kind of flat, so it's going to take a little bit of finagling to get that to work. I'm going to put glue here. And I'm just going to glue this side, make it easier. And there we go. All right, let's make this work. Hey, lined up. First try, I am amazed. Okay, so that's the gun. This part goes on the top. The rounded bit goes out. There's a guide here that goes into the gun there. See the hole? Kaboom. Just like that. So I'm going to glue the sides here as well as the hole to make sure it's nice and safe. And the divot goes out because this is a guard for the guy using it. And it just slides right in. It's way easy. No big deal at all. Now we need to put this little part on. It's going to go into these 2 holes there. It probably would have been wise to put that on before I put the other thing on, but it looks like it won't be a big deal. In this case, I'm going to put it on the poles themselves. And it looks like it doesn't matter which side it goes on. Okay. Let's do it. Lining it up. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's just flip it over in case. Nope. Not easy to get them in there. All right, I'm going to take another step and put some glue into the holes and see if that helps. Because that was not fitting. There we go. So my trick was putting glue into the holes and it slid right in. So there you go. There's the whole gun. Done. Now, the gun goes right up here and its guide is flat near the antenna and round elsewhere. So you know exactly how it's going to go, just like so. I don't think it's going to touch this, so we can't necessarily use that as a means to connect it. But what we can do is glue all around the bottom to make sure that it's going to be very secure and not fly off or break easily. So that should be more than enough. Let's get it in there. And voila, we've got a gun. There we go. Look at that. So pretty much all we're missing for this ATV is a pair of arms. Now, what I find funny is this looks so much smaller than I anticipated. I really genuinely thought this was going to be, I don't know, I just thought it would be bigger. But I guess it truly is a little ATV. All right, that's enough of that foolishness. Let's go back to our arms. Here they are. 34 is the arm on this side. So the arms obviously connect up to the guy through those holes, and then they've got a little peg that goes into the gun itself. So pretty simple. I'm going to put glue in that hole and glue in this hole, and that's how I'm going to make this fit. I'm going to start here Then I'm going to very quickly go over here and put some in there. It's not deep, mind you. You can see the hole is not deep where the hand grip is going to go. So just keep that in mind. You're not having to shove it into anything. Now this one, on the other hand, is deep-ish. And thanks to the gun, and you know, the convenience of that antenna being right there. If I would have known that, and there's another piece of tip for you. If you are building this, don't put this antenna on until you do his arm. Just save yourself that misery. Not that it's that miserable, but it would just be a little bit more convenient if it wasn't there, right? Okay, this one will be a lot easier. I'll put the glue in this hole this time. We are so close, I'm getting very excited. And arm number 2. And voila. That's it. There it is. Woohoo! I'm excited. Really like this little guy. It's kind of fun. Didn't take too terribly long. It looks like the grand total of time for this is an hour. You will not see all of it because I'm not going to show you the stuff that I did, you know, when I mirror imaged the things. I'm going to cut that stuff out. But 1 hour to build this, mostly probably because I talked through every single step. But yeah, not so bad. I'm going to film his little circular debut, and we'll wrap this up. All right, thanks very much for checking out the ATV build. I know I had some technical challenges there with some blurriness and stuff. I'm working on it. Hopefully the next ones will be much, much better. I've got a lot of ideas. But if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any thoughts or you'd like to see a specific model build, drop me a line in the comment. Other than that, thanks again. Look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.